So just imagine this for a second, alright? Mrs. Anderson comes home for the day out at the country club with the girls. As she enters the kitchen and begins to take off her gloves, she notices that the light in the answering machine is flashing, notifying that someone has called and left her a message. She throws her gloves on the counter and starts making dinner for the hubby, because every man on earth gets angry when his dinner is not on the table as he walks through the door after a hard day's work. She starts making dinner, and as soon as she puts whatever the hell she's making into the oven...
Yeah? What? What's next?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What about Mr. Anderson? What about the message on the answering machine?
What's the message on the answering machine have to do with anything?
Well, why bring it up? Why put it in your story if there's no significance to it?
Because that's what it is, a story. You told me to humor you. I believe I have.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
How long have you worked for the Andersons, Miss Jacobs?
Just 6 months. But Miss Anderson adored me. Mr. Anderson, too. I know that isn't a long time, but I felt like family to them.
And where was your position before coming to the Andersons?
Well, I worked on the street at the Bakers, and before that, next door at the Washingtons.
I see. And did you leave, or was your position terminated?
I was let go.
Why?
Oh yeah, Rosie was stealing.
I didn't ask you that, Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, but you're inferring it.
All right. So how did you know that Miss Jacobs was stealing, Mr. Thompson?
Oh, I knew. Just the other day she came with a brand new pair of earrings just after Mrs. Anderson had complaining about hers gone missing. And the next day she put a cherry on top by walking in with a brand new pair of shoes.
Perhaps she bought them herself. Is it a crime for her to buy her own things?
You tell me.
Is this going to take long? I've got a lot of things to do now that my wife is dead.
Yes, of course, sir. Let's just get straight to it then. How is your relationship with your wife?
I'm sorry?
Your relationship with your wife, sir. How was it?
Am I a suspect here?
Please, just answer the question, Mr. Anderson.
The marriage is not going well. You know this is his third marriage, right? And that's not stopping him either.
What are you getting at, Mr. Thompson?
Jeffrey Anderson was cheating on his wife.
What exactly was your relationship with the deceased?
Well, she was my boss. I looked up to her.
You admired her.
Yes, very much.
Just how much?
Very. I love my wife very much.
Who does the hiring of the help around the house, you or Mrs. Anderson?
I do.
And your neighbors, Mr. Anderson? Do you talk to them?
Yeah, I see them from time to time. What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm sure gossip spreads like wildfire around here. I'm just wondering if you knew at the time you hired Miss Jacobs that she had recently been fired from 2 other houses on your street. You see, Mr. Anderson, I'm curious as to whether you knowingly hired a thief and allowed her to work in your home, close to your wife.
She's a thief, not a murderer. I think we're done here.
What exactly was the nature of your relationship with the deceased, Mr. Thompson?
I was her gardener.
Anything more than that?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Humor me.
Hi, hon, it's me. Just calling to let you know I won't be home for dinner tonight. Got caught up at the office. But I left the papers on the fridge for you. Hopefully I'll see you tonight.
Now he's gone, I don't know why. And till this day sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye, he didn't take the time to lie. My baby shot me down.